Welcome to a new video on my Raspberry Pi 3 running Raspberry and Linux, specially adapted for the PiXtend PLC, programmable logic control, and with a breadboard with a bit of electronics. Attached are serial interface, digital output, digital input, and pulse width modulation with a fischertechnik motor, a very small one, and also with probes to check the digital signal, to check the serial interface, and to check on the pulse width modulation. Last time I checked on the pulse width modulation, which had no effect. I checked on the digital interface, digital out, which according to the LED that is hidden here, well, hidden for the camera, it does work, but then why doesn't this LED work? And then still the mystery of the serial interface. Why does it work one way only? So with that and more to come, and I forget something, I'm also trying to make a data log using the scientific programming language Octave. All that using computer with a screencast. So let's see about the software. And with the screen part, VNC, virtual network computing, written in, with a program written in Python to test on digital in, digital out, serial and pulse width modulation. Minicom for serial interface, not activated on Raspberry Pi, and then a tab for executing the serial interface. SSH necessary to start the VNC environment, and Minicom, and of course oscilloscope set for serial connection, pulse width modulation, and check just signal here. And the keen eye has seen that Octave isn't running yet, but first of all let's see about any possible signal. So let's run, and then you see that here everything stays empty. Pulse width modulation isn't doing the thing. Well, not that I can see anyway. So some improvements have to be made. And every now and then I think I see a signal coming by. But let's press this button, and then another goes on. And you can see the LED going on and off when I press the button. And so forth and so on. So what I do have to do is check again how the pulse width modulation is being started, because that should be done. Also, I see nothing on this probe, and when I look right here, I see that digital out is frequently being activated. Anyway, time to check for things, because I want everything to work, understandably. Yeah. Alright, and I will have to record again. So what I did, finding out pulse width modulation, and given the fact that I found out last time that I really have to use this function, pulse width modulation is can be coupled with digital output. Pulse modulation output 0 can be coupled with digital output 5, and pulse width modulation 1 can be coupled with digital output 5. 4 and 5, 1, 0 and 1. Range from 1000 from 0 to 65 something, 65,000 something, and what I did during the field recording was testing for sleeping period, because it does work in here, it's visible, just the motor didn't do anything yet. So setting the time to sleep to 3, let's run. And then you see this go, but it doesn't go far enough. It really doesn't do a thing, except for showing off some. Then interrupting and going to, okay, let's view for a moment what digit it has. Pulse width modulation 65,000 sharp. Going back. So I go to 60,000. What does it do? It has high speed, so I can increase it, but so far it doesn't do a thing. Let's test it again with the current setting of 60,000, and again it doesn't do much. Yeah, it increases here, but this isn't doing anything. So what I actually have to do is putting maybe a servo motor to it. Still, the spindle of this motor doesn't even do anything. So I'm going to change this into a real servo motor. No, and see if that is different with this fischertechnik pulse width driven motor, which should work. So let's test and try. Alright. New attempt with a servo motor this time, and all wires now applied according to pulse width modulation, ground and voltage. This one is voltage now, which is not 5 but about 3 volts, 2.5. Not quite sure if that is going to work out. So far it doesn't do a thing. So regarding this voltage, which is very low, then I don't think that fischertechnik motor will work anyway. Do I want to uncouple everything? It might be, but I'm not quite sure that is going to work. So, apart from that, now I know the signal is going on. Is it wise to do it like this? Not really. It jumps on and on. So, and then I mean this value. So I am going to try make it run nicer. For some values. Will that work? That's a big question. A very big question. So I can do it stepwise. And have it sleep for 1 second. And then of course it helps if I don't make typos. And let this go for 3 and 4 and 5. 2, 3, 4 and 5. And then finally this. See whatever happens this time. And might of course this motor. Will it work or won't it? Because this is this connection with the wires just put in the wire of the motor is very experimental, very doubtful, but I can of course test it if it even comes through. Lose this wire and probe it here. Well, this signal comes through, then the white one comes through, and this one should do nothing. Yeah, correct. So everything does come through, which is kind of a relief. Does it help? So far, absolutely nothing. So I'm not quite sure where the problem is really. Which brings me to the digital output. Why am I not seeing an LED flash? And of course the serial. Let's do that as well. Because this has been running for some time now and doing absolutely nothing. With PiXtend data log. So is this doing anything? No, absolutely nothing. Let's quit this, by the way. But yeah, that should be an X to quit. Oops, I don't think that is wise. Then Octave completely loses it, I think. let's press F5. No. What happens now? Okay, and it starts again immediately. But absolutely no data. And there's nothing in it, not surprisingly. It hasn't read a thing. Alright, how to continue? Well, actually sending something the other way around again using Minicom. But that requires me to stop this for a moment. Minicom. Yeah, well, this is familiar, and this is also familiar. Although now that I look at it, I only see things on this line, and pressing from here, from the laptop, I see on both sides. So that's remarkable. Why does this one only do it? Or am I looking it the wrong way? Yeah, no, it's both colors, yellow and blue, so both ways as well. But still in one direction only when I use the software. Not nice. Alright, then digital output, and let's quit Minicom for now, going back to Python. So let's quit this as well for now. You see here the very large topped signal coming from here. And when I connect the crocodile beak to ground, that's what happens. If it tops and it is set to 5 volts, then the voltage would be very high, which I doubt. So and I can only switch it on and off. So let's just do this again. Is there anything out and on and off? Well, once again, when I go with the camera right there, you see that LED right here. Where you should see, yes, there it goes. And that is the output. So even with very little stuff, very little thing there is output. There should be output anyway. And of course you start wondering whether you'll have the correct wire, since there's absolutely nothing to see. So let's test then. if things are really going the right way. And then testing right here. And why do I see a pulse only now and then? Oh, that's interesting. When the digital output is activated, the signal goes to 0. So that means basically that when I do not connect this crocodile beak, and wait for activation, it goes to 0. So there is a signal and it may have blown away this LED. So I have to check that LED by now. Alright, after quite some tests, I do know that now the digital output right here does work, considering this signal. Strange signal, but it is a signal. Then this LED in test shows mere a glim, and this one really does work in very bright shining, and even this one in this situation gives a mere glimmer. And with the bare eye you can barely see it. Maybe when I turn the light away, I can't really see it. But the strange thing is, when digital out goes off, you can see it, and otherwise you can't. So that is a very strange situation. Anyway, by not connecting this one to the ground, it seems to work. So what can I conclude? That I need to investigate digital output further, as well as the pulse width modulation, because I'm not happy with that. Let alone the serial side of everything, because if you have a serial port, a serial actuator, or just a serial signal in, you have to get something in, and right now that's not working. With the motor activated, by the way, or attached, I can of course start a new tab and start PX Auto, although that requires that I go into where was PX Auto again? It's a very nice one. Yep, right there. So pulse modulation, yes, and then I have to put the camera right there to see something. So I say 60,000, go. There's no go, and I would expect it to run like lightning. So next time I may have to check on uncoupling digital output 4 and the pulse modulation, if that works, because now there's nothing to see, unfortunately. So where leaves that me not quite satisfied anyway on what to do. But this has also, of course, read nothing, because I haven't seen a real signal go on, which is seriously giving me doubts on if this does work anyway. Zero right, data left out, zero out waiting, gives absolutely zero. Data left out, zero. So it has been sent. So why don't I see anything? With Minicom yes, but with this, no, nothing. Very strange. And that's the end of this episode. A lot of tests again, not all successful, but that can happen. For now, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and give the video a thumbs up. Leave a comment or suggestion, much appreciated. You can also follow me via Instagram and Twitter. Please show your support by making a donation via either PayPal or Wired, which is banking. And you can also become a patron, and depending on the pledge you make, may have your name mentioned on my website or with some videos. All information, including URL of my website and social media names, under this video. On my website are also my other projects and lots of videos and pictures. So please take a look. Also detailed information for Dutch people on how to donate. Very important. This is obviously going to be continued. Have a nice day and bye bye.